right, dog, Vincent.
Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. Today we got an NFL draft prospect. It's Martin Emerson, cornerback, Mississippi State. So if you like the video today, please come and share. We surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards Football. And today's video is presented by betonline.com, by the Bleed Podcast Network. So thank you. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And my gentleman has stepped away from the desk for a few minutes as he's had to go get his special NFL draft glasses that break down the great Martin Emerson that played at Mississippi State. I don't have to say no more. He's like me, a year older. He built the program at Florida State University, 12-year vet. And today, he's just like me. He's a big fan of the group out of New York, Chic and Nile Rodgers. And he built that thing down in Tallahassee, Florida. My man, Mr. Bobby Butler. How you doing this morning, sir?
Hey, Vince, I'm doing good. You know what had me in groove at FSU? It was Nile Rodgers and Bernard was Chic. And in the late 70s, they were jumping in Tallahassee, brother.
Hey, they was jumping on the hill in Fayetteville, Arkansas, man. And before we get started, I had a serious argument about 3 months ago. See, we old school people, I'm going to put it out there, we always bringing up who's the best of the best drummer, the best lead guitars.
That's right.
So somebody stepped to me, and I respected him, Steve Miller. And they tried to tell me Steve Miller was a better guitarist than Nile Rodgers.
Oh, my God.
And that's all I have to say about that, is we're going to break down Mr. Martin Emerson, and you're going to start it. Again, the great Steve Miller of the 70s is a better guitarist than the great Nile Rodgers of Chic. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, Vincent, let me say this before we get started with Mr. Martin Emerson Jr. Forgive them, for they know not what they say. With that being said, let's talk about this young man, Mr. Martin Emerson Jr. Vincent,
Yes,
hey, listen, he passes the eye test. This guy is 6'2", 200 pounds. You know, when I see a guy that size playing corner, man, I get Google eyes, because the greatest corner of all time, in my opinion, was one of my teammates by the name of Deion Primetime Sanders, 6'2", 198 pounds. So when I see this size, I go, man, he's got it. He's got the frame. Now, what that allows him to do, Vincent, more than anything, at the line of scrimmage, up close and personal, he can lay his hands on you. This guy plays physical at the line of scrimmage. Hey, let's go here. This guy is a cornerback in the SEC. Okay? That's a very physical football conference. And he plays there with Mississippi State, which has been a physical football team ever since I've known it, back in the 1970s, right? And so this guy has got the frame. He's got the physicality to play the game. He looks good on paper. But when we get off of paper, going on the football field, we find out that Mr. Emerson is a great football player. He's an excellent open field tackler. Here's what I like too. I watch guys, Vincent, how they shed blocks, right? You know, that's the complete package. You know, when somebody's blocking him, how he deals with that guy, disengage, and then go get the ball carrier. Listen, this guy is relentless when we start talking about tracking the ball carrier. And here's what I always notice. I always tell you this. When I was in camp with the Falcons, all 12 years, when they would draft new guys every year, the first thing I would look for in the new competition was their footwork. If you don't have good feet, you can't make it in the NFL. This guy has got impeccable feet. He has the ability. This is what I like. His feet are so good. His feet are almost like his second brain, because when you watch his feet, he don't have to think. He's reacting. And so he's got the ability to diagnose plays quickly. And when you see him on the edge, Vincent, if somebody throws something in the flat, he stopped doing what he's doing. He's doing his responsibility. He's tracking that ball carrier inside out. And boy, when he get there, he's making collisions, right? He's got fast twitch. When you're looking for a corner now, you know, they can be fast. Straight line speed is good, but you got to have twitch, right? He's got that. He's got great ability. to read routes well. Now, I'm telling you, that's the key. How do you read routes and how do you respond after you read it, right? I mean, he does that just like that. Now, here's what I like. So I'm breaking down on his zone coverage. He's got great eye discipline. He's got great eye discipline. He's like, out of all the corners we've been looking at, there are 3 guys who's got the eye discipline better than anybody, and he's one of the 3, right? Great eye discipline. You know, his eyes, he can read the quarterback. You know, he can watch the patterns in his zone. He'll read the quarterback, and he'll go make plays out of his zone. Great eye discipline. So that means, Vincent, his football IQ is very high as well. So I'm watching some of the things that he's doing, and this is what it's telling me. See, sometimes y'all got to understand, this is not just about athletic ability. At corner, you want to have a freaky athlete. There's no doubt about it. But it's not all about athletic ability. It's about film study. It's about the time spent in the film room. And I can tell this young man spent a lot of time in the film room because he's coming off things like that. He's reacting to things like that. It's not the first time he's seen it once he faces it on the football field. I give him checks for that, right? And so I love him. In man coverage, just like I say, he plays physical and he competes with big receivers. He's not going to have a problem competing with big receivers in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, because he's got the right size and he plays physical right now. All right. But here's what I like. See, when you play corner, I want people to get this. I'm training some corners right now, right? Some young boys in high school I'm training right now. And I got to get them to understand when you lay hands, and after you lay hands, you got to take your hands off, and now you got to let your athletic ability show up. This guy's great at that. He knows when to be rough and tough. He knows when to back off and run and play the ball in the air. I love that. And so this guy, he checks all the boxes, Vincent. He checks them all. And here's what I like about it. He's a lockdown corner. Ain't no doubt about it. I hear some compare him to J.C. Horn. Y'all know J.C. Horn came in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, and he looked better with the Panthers than he looked at South Carolina. So I can't wait to see what this young man going to do to the next level. Mr. Martin Emerson, can't wait to see.
What I like about Martin Emerson, played at Mississippi State, and I'm going to put it out there. He's another Florida boy. Pine Forest, right outside Pensacola.
There he is.
But he followed that royalty at Mississippi State, man.
He did.
Richard Blackmore. Your former teammate, Kenny Johnson.
Preach.
Darius Slade.
Come on.
Willie Jackson.
Come on. You ain't finished.
Steve Johnson. Bruce Plummer. Walt Harris out of LaGrange.
Come with it.
Robert Bean. Derek Piggies. And we knew him. He played at Mississippi State in the mid-'70s, ended up going on to the Buffalo Bills. They called him White Lightning. Steve Freeman out of Whitehaven High School.
He is.
The 901.
Yes, sir.
But what I like about him, man, I'm always a big production guy.
Yes.
36 games played, 152 tackles at the cornerback position.
Yes, think about it.
15 pass breakups. He had only one interception, but that's all right. But as you just broke down, the press jam is an A+. The length is an A+.
Yes.
The vocal communicator is an A+.
Yes.
And when you talk about history, you got to go back to Jerry Holmes. You got to go back to Dave Brown at Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Clarence Ellis at Notre Dame. The great Emmett Thomas at Bishop. Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl IV MVP, Super Bowl IV champion.
The man. That's right.
And a guy that you loved and respect. Emerson is physical. And you talk, but when I first met you, you brought him up so much. You said he changed your career. Out of Gulfport, Mississippi.
That's right.
Jackson State. Backup singer on one of the Marvin Gaye tunes. The young man can sing too.
That's right. That's right.
The great Lynn Barney. I'm seeing Martin Emerson too.
Yes, sir.
Another Lynn Barney.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're preaching good, boy. You're preaching good.
Final words about Mr. Emerson, cornerback out of Mississippi State.
Hey, Vincent, this guy has done it all, man. He looks right. He looks good on paper. You know, I watched several of his interviews. I like the way he talks because you see sometimes when they talk, Vincent, there's some things behind the voice you can pick up. And I picked that up from this young man, right? So I'm looking forward to him going in the draft, the 2022 draft, in a couple months. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for his family. Because one thing I can say about this kid right here, Vincent, he got in the weight room. You know, he's in the film room. He is doing the extra things that's going to take him over the top. He's going to be an excellent pro in the next level because he's playing like a pro right now, not only on the field, but also in the classroom.
My final words about Martin Emerson. Before we end today, special thanks to our producer, Logan Landers.
Yes, sir.
And this video has been brought to you by betonline.com, presented by the Bleed Podcast Network. My final words about Martin Emerson. Like the great band Chic, I'm wagging my head. They had a song out, We Are Rebels.
Yes.
Rebels are we, baby. We want to be free. Martin Emerson is going to be like my frat brother, Mr. Richard Sherman, Phi Beta Sigma Free at the next level.
Yes, sir.
Richard Sherman is about 6'2". Martin Emerson is about 6'2". Mm-hmm. This gentleman, we've talked about a lot of great corners, Bobby, over the past few weeks.
Yes.
I'm very surprised that a lot of people not having this name in the mix.
Right.
But when it's all said and done, it could be another Darius Slay.
Yes.
And if he stay healthy, it's the OJs for the love of money. If you like the video today, please comment and share it. I've been your host, Mr. Football, Vincent Turner, and joining me today, 12-year vet, Atlanta Falcons, All-American at Florida State University, turned the fortunes around with that Florida State program, got them to their first two major bowls, back-to-back Orange Bowls. My man, Bobby Butler, thank you and God bless. And y'all be blessed this week. And by the way, Mr. Butler.
Yes, sir.
Before I let you go.
Yes, sir.
We want to be free. We are rebels. Who's going to win Super Bowl 56 on Sunday?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard not to like them Cincinnati Bengals.
Amen.
It's hard not to like them, but, you know, on paper, I think all the Vegas and everybody got the Rams favorite, which on paper they should win it. But, man, you cannot deny those Bengals.
Y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of the week. 100 yards of football. God bless.